Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Earth Prime, Superman and Lois. Now, as you know, the Earth Prime series is meant to cover stories from Batwoman, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Superman and Lois. Now, the series was originally part of Earth Prime, but after Warner Bros. Discovery and HBO Max and DC decided to move the show on a different parallel Earth, I can kind of see why. I think it was just kind of clear that the Arrowverse was just kind of reaching its peak, and it was just kind of clear that, yeah, it just stayed for too long and just kind of lost its magic. Well, Superman and Lois was just meant to try and fix what it could. And pretty much the cover is Superman flying Lois away, with Jordan and Jonathan looking on. And the story I'm going to be covering is the anniversary. And we see how Clark and Lois are getting ready for their anniversary, and they decide to tell Jonathan and Jordan how their anniversary first one happened. We kind of see how Clark gives Lois roses and them sort of getting ready for work. But of course, we are going to see the typical fashion. In Tokyo, we see how Superman has to deal with dangerous robots, and we kind of see how Lois eventually leaves after its closing time. But we do see how Lois understands that Clark is trying to do the right things, and understands that he has responsibilities. So we see them deciding to try it one more time. But we see how Lois ends up helping Perry White with the copier machine and finds a sort of toy car. And we see how Superman helps his close friend Stan after he almost trips up and thanks him for helping. And of course, we see that Lois gives Clark chocolate and that. And of course, they try to figure out what this toy car was from, and decide to try one more time. But we see how Superman has to deal with Nuclear Man, and for those who don't know, Nuclear Man was a character created for the 4th Superman movie, which didn't really work too well. And of course, we see how Lois picks up the pieces after realizing about the toy car. And basically, after getting a breakfast burrito from Clark, they kind of figure out where the toy's from, Cranko. And this is where we find out that Toyman is working with Intergang and that. But of course, for those who don't know, this kind of implies this is a different Toyman than the one from Supergirl. And of course, we kind of see how Clark and Stan decide to talk after he finishes his shift. And we kind of see how basically Lois has to go for an interview to talk with the sort of mayor about the anti-gun stuff. And of course, after them sort of deciding on what to do about the anniversary, but decided to try and do one more go. But of course, we see how Lobo ends up finding Clark and decides to take him away. And after Lois talking with the mayor, decides to find out some stuff, and sees that Bruno Mannheim and that are sort of linked and connected. And of course, we see how at Bubba Shrimp, we kind of see how Lobo's been hired by a redhead woman, and we know it's going to be the character Maxima. So of course, Clark manages to take down Lobo, and we see how Lois poses as a waitress, and gets the word that Bruno Mannheim and the mayor are working together. And of course, after trying to figure out the story, and of course both of them try to make it back, only for them to kind of be late, but decide to do something better and different. And of course, they say, hold up a minute. You're saying that every year you guys fly off to Hawaii for dinner? Oh, come on, John. Even I know they're messing with us. Unbelievable. And of course, they do have their anniversary dinner in Hawaii, saying, "Happy first anniversary, Clark. Happy first anniversary, Lois." And this is the story. So I think the story is not too bad. Like I said, we both know Clark and Lois do have responsibilities, but we'll always try to balance and work things out. And I think it gives you an insight to how it was before the events of Superman and Lois. So I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.